I had a whole bunch of weird paranoid suspicions about what the hell was going on because there was a lot of stuff I couldn't understand.
Mel Gibson has once again challenged the status quo. After the release of his movie Speech of Freedom, which brought light to the subject of child trafficking, Hollywood tried to cover up this sensitive issue. But Gibson didn't only succeed by winning 6 Grammys for the movie, he also exposed Hollywood for being a terrible, hypocritical entertainment industry. He's been vocal about how Hollywood elites are covering stuff up and how it often leads to disappointment and betrayal, pointing out the double standards. If you don't follow their rules, you're canceled. If you do, you're glorified. Take Dwayne Johnson, for instance.
In today's easy cancel culture world, and cancel culture, woke culture, this culture, that culture, division, etc., that really bugs me.
Nearly the same backlash that Mel Gibson has, the media doesn't drag him through the mud the way they do with Gibson. The difference? It's all about Gibson's unapologetic style. He's blunt, confrontational, and always ready to call people out when they cross the line. He is confrontational and always in attack mode. If you mess up, he'll not let it slide.
There's a producer I know, I will not mention names, but his whole opinion about women on film, from beginning to end, is very brief. He says, women on film, either naked or dead. Both is better. And it's like, whoa.
Many viewers quickly understood the gravity of his words, while others found his vague words hard to swallow. Out of context, his statements may seem vague, but when paired with his film, Speech of Freedom, the message becomes clear. He calls out Hollywood's darkest secrets. In his interview, Gibson's vague comments come to life through the film, which shows how the elite in the industry are directly involved in child trafficking. Those who are seen as cultural icons are exposed as part of these horrific crimes. Of course, Gibson himself isn't without controversy. His troubled past continues to haunt him, leading to ongoing criticism. This raises an important question. Does his opinion hold much weight if he's part of the problem?
Like what, we're just supposed to forget that Mel Gibson punched his ex's face while she was holding their child? Or that he called Winona Ryder an oven dodger because she's Jewish? Or how about the time he told the mother of his child that if she got raped by N-words, it would be her fault? Not to mention his rampant homophobia and recordings of verbal abuse. How is this guy still being cast in movies? I mean, there comes a point where you can no longer separate the art and the artist. Oh, and there are other celebrities. I just wanted to focus on Mel Gibson because he's the embodiment of problematic and white privilege.
Mel Gibson has been accused of drunk driving, anti-Semitic remarks, and domestic abuse. Along with these allegations, some leaked audio tapes include racist remarks where Gibson made some very derogatory comments about Black and Latino people.
You ask most people what their number one fear is. What do you think it is? Most people's number one fear is public humiliation. Okay.
According to people, someone who is like him shouldn't have a career right now, yet he still does. Why? His critics argue it's because he represents the problem with Hollywood, a powerful white man who has yet to fully own up to his mistakes. His response to the past? A casual, it's in the past, let's leave it there. But the past doesn't fade that easily without accountability, and many still feel he owes a real apology. Some see him as a symbol of everything wrong with the industry, while others believe he's being targeted for exposing its darkest secrets. His films, like The Passion and Sound of Freedom, didn't just challenge Hollywood, they enraged it. And for that, some believe he's been under attack ever since. The comment section to that TikTok video shows just how controversial Mel Gibson and his expose on Hollywood is. As you can see, some people truly believe a lot of the accusations against him purely exist because of what he did to Hollywood, while others believe that there is a lot of truth to this woman's words. Mel got hate from the day he made The Passion and then Sound of Freedom. Y'all hating the wrong people. Mel Gibson is an absolute savage. What a warrior. Mel Gibson does a lot for homeless people in Australia and helps his peers when they're at rock bottom with addiction, as he was. Does donating to charities, helping homeless people, and speaking out against child trafficking help him atone for the sins he has committed in the past, or will they continue to act as a reason to discredit him? Mel Gibson's been hit with controversy after controversy, and every time he shuts it down and keeps going. Does that make him unreliable? Sure, his rocky past is always hanging over him, like that ghost that just won't go away. Dwayne Johnson has called out Hollywood and faced barely any backlash. But with Mel, it's different. The attacks on him run way deeper. Some news anchors have also commented on the fact that the media has gone to unreasonable lengths to conceal Mel's new movie Speech of Freedom, even though the main character Jim was curated around a real person, Tim Ballard. Now, Tim has also shed light on Hollywood's stubbornness to bury the touchy topic of child trafficking despite its severity and realness. Ironically, Tim Ballard is praised for speaking out about child trafficking and helping the cause, but a few years later, Mel Gibson's movie Sound of Freedom is released, but no one likes Jim, the main character. Why? Because he was directed by Mel Gibson.
Jim plays Tim Ballard, which is strange because just a few years ago, the same media was celebrating Tim Ballard's heroics. Watch.
Tim Ballard has one mission: to track down child traffickers. 4 months ago, Colombian authorities asked him to investigate a tip that children were being sold there as sex slaves.
Gibson also comments on how Hollywood puts spandex on a person and names them a hero, without them contributing anything of value to society. Most of the time, this is very true, because all these so-called heroes do is promote the most basic virtues and the absolute bare minimum. It's clear where Hollywood's priorities lie. They would rather promote a flop movie like Madame Web than praise a Mel Gibson movie about a soldier who saves men during World War. It's safe to say that regardless of the press surrounding a movie rated 3 out of 10 on IMDb, there is no amount of money Hollywood could put in to make that superhero movie worth watching. Despite the hate, celebrities like Robert Downey Jr. have vouched for him, even asking for forgiveness on his behalf, claiming he's turned his life around and hoping the industry will give him the same clean slate they offered Robert.
When I couldn't get sober, he told me not to give up hope, and he urged me to find my faith. Didn't have to be his or anyone else's as long as it was rooted in forgiveness. Offering him the same clean slate you have me and allowing him to continue his great and ongoing contribution to our collective art without shame.
Mel Gibson claims to have seen the darkest paths of the entertainment industry, and his boldness in speaking out about these truths reveals much about his character. But let's not ignore the elephant in the room. His troubled past has left a permanent stain on his reputation, making it hard for many to fully trust or embrace his claims. Here's the real question: do you believe him? Is Hollywood trying to silence him to protect itself, or is he just another part of the system he criticizes? These are questions only time, or perhaps more revelations, will answer. Let us know what you think in the comments below.